This is Water Valley Blue Devil Classic Football. This game features the Water Valley Blue Devils and the Coffeeville Pirates. This game was played on September 1st, 2000 at Coffeeville. The final score was Water Valley 56, Coffeeville 0. And now here's Doug Carter and Lane Hart.
About to get this thing ready to go here as the Blue Devils make their way over to their sideline now. Coffeeville Pirates are on the field set to kick off.
Doug, I was talking to a few of the Water Valley coaches, including Coach Drury, before the game during the pregame warm-up, kind of asking how practice went and did the players handle the heat real well? And he said, there were at times where we had a little bit of lack of focus, and of course, these kids are having to practice in 100-plus degree temperature, and that's to be expected. But Coach Drury thinks that they're ready to play, and he hopes that they'll respond to practice this week and come out and execute.
Definitely, as they were able to execute very well last week in the heat. So for the heat, we surprisingly saw no cases of cramps at all. So that goes to show the condition that the Water Valley players are in.
Doug, I believe when Coffeeville broke that huddle, they jumped off sides.
Off sides. I believe you're right, Lane. The quick huddle as if they were going to do a quick onside kick move, and one of the players crossed the line of scrimmage, and referee throws the offside flag, so they'll back it up to the 35, where number 12, the Stanford Spearman, will kick off.
Well, that little move there is perfectly legal, unless you go past the football, and that football indicates the line of scrimmage, so to speak, and that was an offside penalty.
And now Spearman set to kick it off and get this 30th meeting between the Pirates and the Blue Devils underway. Gets a foot into it. It's a low line driving kick, skittles along the line to number 2, picks it up at about the 27 and motors his way up to about the 37-yard line. That was Anthony Gooch, and Anthony takes it up to the 27-yard line, 37-yard line. Well, the Blue Devils will take over first and 10. And let's see who's going to come out to quarterback the first series. It'll be number 13, sophomore Casey Rogers.
Great field position to start for the Blue Devil offense. Once again, Doug, I think that penalty right there, that extra 5 yards, allowed Water Valley to gain that extra 5 yards, and they got good field position.
Water Valley with a large front line there. Big number 72, Travis Stokes, just a big mountain of a fella. Hand the ball off there to the tailback on the way through, Orlando Rucker, I believe. Number 9, and that was Orlando. Carrying up to about the 38-yard line, gain of about 2 yards on the play. Call it second down and 8.
Look for Water Valley here to kind of maybe keep it a little simple, a little basic, first series of the game, try to establish their base offense and get a little momentum.
Greg Turner at fullback. Orlando Rucker at the tailback position. Handoff goes to Rucker. Rucker trying to cut it back across the right side, gets the ball up to about the 41-yard line, gain of another 2 or 3 yards on the play. Call it out third down and 5 now for the Blue Devils from their own 41. Wide receivers bringing the plays in from the sideline. Will Taylor into the ball game now to take Rucker's position at the tailback slot. David Martin goes out wide to the left. Anthony Gooch comes to the right. Rogers rolls, looking downfield, has his tight end, Justin Brewer, open in Coffeeville Pirate territory at the 47-yard line, and a Blue Devil first down.
Well, that was a great job there by Casey there, Doug. Coffeeville did a real good job up front, getting a lot of pressure on him, and Casey was able just to make that little sidestep, that little adjustment that allowed him to get the pass off. And nice catch by Brewer also. Got up high, went up high after the ball, and made a great catch. It's a big first down right there.
First and 10 for the Blue Devils now from the Coffeeville Pirates 47-yard line. Rogers rolling to his left, escapes and is finally tackled for a loss back at the 43-yard line, as the Pirate defense was able to get the pressure in on Casey and able to drag him down for a loss.
Well, the defensive front ran a little bit of a stunt there, Doug, and it kind of threw the offensive line for a little bit of a trick there, and just didn't do a good job of picking up that stunt there.
Clay Whitehead to the right, Ward Walker out to the left. Rogers pulls it back in, looking for room to run up the middle, and there just was nowhere to run as the Pirates swarm after Rogers, and they drop him back at the 43-yard line, make it the 44-yard line, where it'll be third down now. Third down and almost 20.
That was kind of a busted play there, Doug. The play was supposed to be an option over here to the short side of the field, and I couldn't quite see who the halfback was, but the dive back, the guy who was supposed to run the dive, went the wrong way. Casey was out there exposing the football, and it's kind of a busted play.
Rogers to his left, breaks into the open, looking for some running room, gets back to the 45-yard line of the Pirates and gains some more yardage, but that's going to bring up a fourth down situation, and I believe Coach Drury is going to send on the punt team.
Well, if you're Coffeeville here, Doug, you want to look for the fake because, I mean, you've got good field position as far as that ball goes, or as far as the ball's position goes. This is a good opportunity if you want to try a little fake punt early to go ahead and do it.
Fourth down and 8 is the situation. Will Taylor, the punter, is in. Will drops back. Of course, also you want to pay attention to your up blocking back is Michael Fonte, the senior quarterback. Penalty marker on the kick. Will gets off a nice one. Kick hits at about the 10 and rolls. Takes a Water Valley roll down inside the 10 to about the 7, but as we say, there's a penalty marker on the play. Let's see what the call is. Illegal procedure against the Blue Devils, and I would imagine they'll make them kick it again.
Yeah, you probably will because if you reject the penalty or decline the penalty, Coffeeville's going to have the ball first and 10 from the 10-yard line, it looks like. So you want to try, if you're Coffeeville, try to get your offense a little bit better field position.
So from 4th and 8, we'll go to about 4th and 13. From midfield will be the line of scrimmage. 8 minutes and 12 seconds left to go here in the first quarter of play. Nothing your score. This is the initial offensive series for the Blue Devils. As we say, Will Taylor back in punt formation. Pirates with one man back at about the 45. Snap is back. Taylor gets a good foot into it. Drives it deep. Hits it about the 11. And is downed at about the 11-yard line where the ball dies. We were talking about earlier in the game, Lane, on this particular field, the grass is rather thick, and the ball tends to die out there on those points.
I was down on the field before the game, Doug, and just kind of walking around and along with the players. The players like to do a little walkthrough. And you're right, Doug, the ground is really thick. And you people watching on TV, if you'll get a chance, if you'll just, when the referee spots the ball and you see the ball just sitting there on the ground, or you can look at the players' feet themselves, and you can actually see how thick that grass is because it kind of almost covers up their shoes completely, and you can see how thick that is. So you're right, Doug, and that could affect as far as your cutting ability that goes. The old thick grass might want to tend to slow you down a little bit.
Pirates with the ball, 1st and 10. Pitch it back to the wing back there. That was, I believe that was number 3, Marquise Mitchell. Little or no gain. Matter of fact, a loss of 2 on the play as the Blue Devil defense was able to stop him in the backfield.
This is kind of interesting, Doug. Coffeeville going with a no huddle here, calling the plays from the sideline, signaling them in. If you'll notice, the players are looking at their wristbands. Coach gives them a certain number. They look at their wristband, see that number, and they know what play to run.
Number 11, Kevin Rucker is your quarterback. Penalty markers on the play. See if we can see what the call was. Illegal procedure against the Pirates.
Doug, the Blue Devils ought to be pretty familiar with that type of play calling, as far as the offense, the plays being called from the sideline. We see Coffeeville doing it tonight. Shannon Red Raiders have done it, the past 2 years. We've met them several occasions. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, even back in the state championship game, Stone County used that procedure also to call their plays. So this is not unfamiliar for the Devil defense. They'll make their adjustments and be ready to play.
2nd and 15. Ball goes back to one of the backs, trying to make a halfback pass out of the backfield. That was number 2, Rakedrick Logan. And Logan has to pull the ball down and runs it out to about the 15-yard line before he is tackled by the Blue Devil defense. Almost had the ball stripped from his hand back in the backfield. Was lucky to hang on to it, now bringing up a 3rd and 8 for the Pirates.
Well, first of all, that was great recognition by the Devil defense. They recognized the play. They kept the backside pursuit. The backside pursuit is what put that pressure on him, and never really gave him a chance to throw the ball, and plus had good coverage on that deep receiver. He was covered man-to-man, but covered like a blanket.
Pirates call timeout, and we'll take a break along the line and be back right after this. Pirates facing a 3rd and 8 situation here. 6:05 left to go in the first quarter. Play nothing your score. Pirates pinned deep in their own end at their own 15-yard line. Snap goes back to Rucker. And he has nowhere to go, and he is dropped back there by number 5. And he just didn't have anywhere at all to go.
Well, number 5 for the Blue Devils made the tackle, but the reason he was able to make that tackle is because number 12, Michael Fonte, did a great job of outside contain, forced that running back to make his cut back to the inside, and number 5 there for the Blue Devils sitting there waiting on. That's a great tackle and good pursuit.
4th down now, 4th down at about 15 for the Pirates. They'll be kicking out of their own end zone. I believe that's number 4, Eric Spearman, do the punting. Snap is back, kick is off, almost blocked. Ball hits the ground, takes a Pirate roll all the way up to the Pirate 46-yard line, where the Blue Devils will take over 1st and 10.
Well, that's a smart play there by Will, not to try to field that punt, because you're going to get good field position regardless of what takes place. And so no reason there to risk a fumble or risk a turnover there. And Water Valley's got 1st and 10 inside Coffeeville territory.
And now there's the official timeout for the water break, and we'll take a break along with them, and we'll be right back after this break. First and 10 for the Blue Devils here. 5:13 left to go in the first quarter of play from the Coffeeville 46-yard line. Casey Rogers in at quarterback, hands off to Orlando Rucker off the left side. Rucker into the open. Rucker down the sideline, and finally knocked out of bounds by a Coffeeville defender down at about the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 Blue Devils on a nice run there by Rucker.
Yeah, it was an excellent run there by Rucker. Made the right cut, saw the hole, and was able to get to the outside. That's where he's at his best. If he can get on the corner, and he's got the speed to outrun a lot of those defensive backs. Coffeeville's defensive front just flat out outran that play. I mean, they had penetration in the backfield. They just ran past it, and next thing you know, Orlando's going down the sideline.
1st and 10 Blue Devils from the 25-yard line. Rogers hands it off to Rucker again. Rucker this time to the right side, looking for the corner. Spearman finally tackles him down at the 6-yard line, where it'll be 1st and goal for the Blue Devils from the Coffeeville Pirates 6.
Boy, that's great blocking there on that right side. He had a humongous hole to run through, and when you get that kind of blocking, it just makes the running back job a lot easier.
Timeout Pirates. Blue Devils getting set to come out of the timeout here that the Pirates called. 1st and goal for the Blue Devils from the Pirates 6-yard line. 4:45 left to go here in the first quarter. Play nothing your score. Blue Devils threatening, however. Full house backfield. They give the ball to Rucker. Rucker looking for a hole and steps through the line and takes it down inside to about the 1-yard line. Now, where it will be 2nd down and goal from the 1.
That was good recognition there on Orlando's part. You know, I think the play was designed to go a little bit wider, but the hole actually opened up a little bit more to the inside. He recognized that, made a good cut there, and was able to pick up a good gain.
Second down and goal now from the 1. Give it to Rucker, and Rucker scores for the Blue Devils, and the Blue Devils are on the board.
Well, you can credit that drive right there, Doug, I think, to the offensive line of the Blue Devils. They just kind of took control of the line of scrimmage on that particular series, and Water Valley just kind of drove it down their throat there a little bit.
That brings on Ward Walker out of the hole to number 24, Clay Whitehead, for the extra point attempt. As the Blue Devils get set up on the ball. Snap back. Kick is up. And the kick is good, and that makes the score the Blue Devils 7, the Pirates 0. We'll be back with kickoff after this break. And the Blue Devils take the lead here in this 30th meeting between the Blue Devils and the Pirates. Pirates with Rucker and Spearman back deep to receive the kickoff here from number 12, Michael Fonte. In last week's game, Michael did an excellent job on kickoffs as he drove all of his kickoffs to at least the 10-yard line and some beyond, and was able to pin Winona deep on all of those kickoffs.
You know, Doug, and little things like that, you know, regarding special teams, you know, people don't realize when you do those little things well like that, man, how, you know, it's just amazing how greatly it increases your chances of winning the football game. It just, you know, you think that's not a big deal, kick it off, go down there and tackle them, but it's a little bit more bigger deal than that because, man, it plays a big part of the football game.
Once again, he drives it down to the 10-yard line, and the ball is fumbled down there by Spearman. He picks it up, looking for room to run, and is tackled by the Blue Devils up at about the 18-yard line. He was very lucky to be able to pick that ball up and gain the yardage that he gained out of it.
Doug, I didn't know if he was actually trying to hand it off to that other return man for a little bit of a reverse play, or I didn't know if he was going to try to fake it and keep it. But evidently he was going to try to do one of the two things, lost the handle on it, and like you said, Doug, he's very lucky to get to the 18-yard line.
1st and 10 now for the Pirates from their own 18-yard line. 3:53 left to go in the first quarter play, 7-0 in favor of the Blue Devils. Pirates hand it off to number 6, I believe it was there, Carlo Exon. Takes it up to about the 19, gains maybe a yard on the play. Call it 2nd down and 9. And that's being generous.
Well, Water Valley's defense so far, Doug, is doing a real good job of pursuing. You remember, you know, last year on the outside, on the corners, Water Valley seemed to be a little bit vulnerable there earlier in the year. I don't think that's the case this year. I think we've got the speed that can actually run with those guys and beat them to the corner.
Rucker on a quarterback option as he gets through the line and takes it up along the sideline up to about the 26-yard line, where it'll bring up a 3rd down now at about 4.
Tell you one thing I've noticed about the Coffeeville running backs, and that's including the quarterback, they have a little bit of a knack of breaking tackles. They don't really go down on that first hit. They do a real good job of breaking those tackles. So, you got to come up and put a good hat on them and lock up on them, and because they'll run through a lot of tackles.
Rucker, loose football. Blue Devils recover. Michael Fonte comes up off the ground with the football, and the Blue Devils have the football again thanks to a Coffeeville miscue at the Coffeeville 23-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils. Let's see if the Blue Devils can convert on this opportunity.
But this would be big if they could. You know, they could really kind of take control of the ball game and take over momentum, here early or late in the first quarter.
Ward Walker out to the right. They hand the ball to Rucker. Rucker to the left. Rucker with running room into the open, but he's tackled down at about the 10-yard line, but not before he gains another 1st down for the Blue Devils.
Well, it's not a good sign for if you're Coffeeville and the coaching staff there to have your defensive back starting to make all the tackles. That lets you know that your front line and your linebackers are getting caught up or getting blocked, and they're not getting off their blocks fast enough. So Coffeeville's going to have to make an adjustment right there because they can't afford to keep letting their secondary make all the tackles.
1st and 10 now from the 11-yard line. Will Taylor with the ball that time, diving off the right side. Knee touches down at about the 5-yard line. 2nd down now and about 4.
Water Valley can still get a first down, Doug, without scoring, but I bet it's not even a half a yard. You know, the first down marker's a half a yard just outside the end zone. So
under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. Casey Rogers on the keeper, looking for some running room, cuts it up and into the end zone. Rogers scores on the 5-yard keeper.
Well, that's a big conversion there, Doug, off that turnover. Now Water Valley takes over, the momentum of the game, and here early in the first quarter or late in the first quarter, and here's Walker trying to add the PAT.
Ward Walker on now for the extra point attempt. Out of the hole to Whitehead. Snap back. Kick is up. And the kick is good. And that makes the score of the Blue Devils 14, the Pirates 0. We'll be back with the kickoff right after this break. Fonte set to kick it off now for the Blue Devils. Spearman and Rucker deep to receive for the Pirates. Fonte gets under that one a little, hits it about the 20, bounces, picked up by Spearman. And Spearman gets staggered at the about the 30-yard line and gains a couple of more yards on up to about the 35 where it's spotted, and the Pirates will take over 1st and 10.
I tell you that Spearman for Coffeeville is an athlete. He picked that thing up on the run and was at full speed, and it's a good thing that Water Valley put a pretty good hit on him because he had his momentum up, and you wasn't going to tackle him with an arm tackle.
1st and 10 now for the Pirates from their own 35-yard line. Penalty marker on the play. See what this illegal procedure against the Pirates is a call. Back them up 5 more yards. Ball goes back to the 30-yard line where it'll be 1st and 15.
Well, you got a couple of factors that are figuring into this, as far as if you're Coffeeville's point of view. Is one, you've got a young team. Coach Purdy told me that before the game, that we're young and they're trying to build their program. And two, it's only your 2nd game of the year, and you're still making a few of those mental mistakes. And that's the first thing, if I'm Coffeeville's coaching staff, as far as this particular game tonight, just try to eliminate those mental mistakes and just kind of go from there.
1st and 15 now for the Pirates from their own 30-yard line. Minute and 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Play 14-0 is your score in favor of the Blue Devils. Rucker steps up to the line. Takes a snap. Rolling to his left. Looking for running room. And is tackled out there by Will Taylor at about the 37-yard line. Nice tackle there by Will.
Yeah, our backer's a little bit slow getting there. Just need to do a little bit better job of recognition. Good job there by Contain. They forced him back to the inside, but good strong run there by the Coffeeville quarterback.
2nd down now. 2nd down and about 7 from the 37 of the Pirates.
Doug, you take away that procedure penalty and you got 2nd down and 2. It's compared to 2nd down and 7, and that just shows you right there how big the penalties can mount up on you.
They hand it off there to number 6. That's Carlo Exon. Takes the ball up to about the 40-yard line where it'll be 3rd down and 5 now. Third down now, 3rd and 5 for the Pirates. Rucker rolling, looking for his pitch man, pitches it back, and it's on the ground, and the Blue Devils make another critical recovery their ball at the Pirate 35-yard line with 5.9 seconds left to go in the first quarter of play.
Doug, I don't know if he waited too late to pitch that ball or if it was just a bad pitch in general. The angle that we had wasn't real well, but it looked like he might have tried to rush that pitch a little bit, or he might have waited a little bit too late. He might right before he hit, and he tried to pitch. When we ran the option back when we played, we were always taught that if you feel contact from the defensive guy, don't pitch the ball because it's too much of a risk. And I think that may be what happened to the quarterback there. I think he waited just a little bit too late to pitch that ball.
Rucker to his right. Rucker looking for running room. Breaking tackles as he rumbles down inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line, and that's the end of the first quarter of play. We'll be back with the second quarter after this break. At the end of the first quarter of play, the Blue Devils lead this contest 14-0 over the Pirates, as the Pirates have put the ball on the ground twice, and the Blue Devils have been able to convert one of them into points and are threatening to convert the second opportunity here as soon as the second quarter begins. They'll have the ball 1st and 10 on the Pirate 19-yard line, and the Blue Devils are trying to take advantage of all the Pirate mistakes that they possibly can and convert them into points.
Well, it's clearly, Doug, that the Blue Devils have the momentum right now. Just recovered their second turnover. Like you said, turned the first one into points, and if Water Valley converts here, then they could really take control of this ball game.
1st and 10 now from the 19-yard line for the Blue Devils. Michael Fonte in at quarterback. Anthony Gooch is out wide to the right. And that's what they're looking for. Gooch in the end zone, and defender was able to get in front of him and block him from the ball.
There was definitely contact, Doug, and I guess by the rule interpretation, I guess you could have called that pass interference. But I just think I think both players were going for the ball, and it just incidental contact more than anything. And Michael didn't really get a good throw on that ball. Ball kind of just sailed on him a little bit and didn't really get a good tight spiral on that throw, and as a result, it was underthrown a little bit.
2nd and 10 now from the 19. Fonte hands it off to Will Taylor straight up the middle. Taylor still on his feet, and Taylor scores. Touchdown, Blue Devils. Will Taylor with a 19-yard rumble for the score.
Well, when your offensive line takes control of the line of scrimmage like that, and they're creating holes like that, there's really no need in throwing the football right now, because our offensive line is just completely taking over the line of scrimmage here in this football game, and running backs is just it's kind of easy job for them right now. Running backs have got some big holes to run through.
Ward Walker on for the point after. Whitehead gets it down, and it is good, and that makes the score the Blue Devils 21, the Pirates nothing, and we'll be back after this break along the line for the kickoff. Michael Fonte set to kick it off, or is it Ward Walker this time going to get an opportunity to kick off, I believe. Yep, that's Ward going to handle the kickoff duties this time. 11:44 left to go in the first half of play. 21-0 is your score in favor of the Blue Devils. Back deep to receive for the Pirates will be Spearman and Rucker.
Tell you, Doug, I really like that idea that Coach Drury and the offense is doing about getting some snaps to both quarterbacks with both Fonte and Rogers. I think that's going to pay off for them, well on down the line once we get into division play. I think that's going to be a real key.
Spearman takes the ball at about the 10 and is really hammered at about the 18-yard line, where the Pirates will take over 1st and 10.
Well, to be honest with you, Doug, it really just wasn't much blocking there. They had a pretty good wall set up, and Coffeeville just didn't block them, and then the defenders for Water Valley just was able to converge on them. Easy.
First and 10 now for the Pirates from their own 19-yard line. Two wide receivers out to the left. Quick little pass out there to number 10, and the Blue Devils recognize it quickly and close on it. Gains maybe 3 or 4 yards, and that's about the extent of that. Second down now, second down and about 7.
Well, I think that was a good play call there on Coffeeville's part. You've kind of had a couple bad breaks not go your way, and you're just trying to find something positive to build on. And so, offensively, you just want to try to keep it simple, stick to the plays that get you positive yardage, and just try to build some momentum from there.
Second down now, second down and 7 for the Pirates from about the 23-yard line. Rucker hands off to the first back through. He takes the ball up to about the 29-yard line. Close to first down yardage. That was Exon on the carry. Third down and short now. Third and less than a yard for the Pirates. Rucker takes the snap. Keeper down the line, struggling to get the yardage needed for the first down, and I believe he was able to get forward with forward progress far enough to get that.
I agree with you. I think he got it, Doug. I mean, it was good defense there by Water Valley, but I think he was able to get the momentum to get that first down.
First down, Pirates at the 30-yard line, their own 30-yard line.
I believe that's their first down in the game, isn't it?
Quite possibly. First and 10 now for the Pirates. From their own 30. Rucker in the shotgun. Quick pass out intended for Spearman. The ball was tipped. Spearman was able to catch it anyway, but Anthony Gooch was there to wrap him up very quickly.
Well, that's a good job by Water Valley's defensive front to get their hand up and get a handle on that ball. You say, well, he still made the catch anyway, but that deflection allowed the defenders to converge on him. By the time he got there, or by the time the ball got there, they were able to tackle him immediately. Matter of fact, according to the down marker, they really didn't gain anything.
Second and 10 now for the Pirates from their own 30. No gain on the play. 9 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the first half. Handed off to the first man through, and he finds no room at all as Justin Brewer and crew are there to stop that hole up immediately. Brings up a third down now, third down and 10. Third and 10 now for the Pirates. Rucker looking to pass. Heaves one downfield, intercepted by Clay Whitehead, number 24, at about the 45-yard line of the Blue Devils, but there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, I think that flag was thrown before the play actually got started.
Too bad. We could have had the ball back again. Illegal procedure called against the Pirates. Repeat third down now. Third down and 15 for the Pirates from the 25. As they get their signal in from the sideline. Everybody checks their wristband for the play. Rucker gets the snap in the shotgun. Is converged on under pressure. Tackled for a loss back there.
Well, I tell you, boy, Water Valley had to work for that sack. That is an elusive son of a gun, man.
He was able to duck several tackles, but he was finally hauled down for a big loss back at about the 20-yard line, where now it'll be 4th down and about 25, well, and about 20 for the Pirates.
You say he did a real good job at avoiding the sack or avoiding the pressure, and that he did. But in the meantime, he's trying to have him to concentrate on dodging all those defenders, and he's not able to look downfield and see his receivers, and he just don't give him time to throw the ball.
Low snap, kick straight up, hits it about the 45 and bounces back. Goes out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. Well, the Blue Devils will take over in Pirate territory at the 43.
Looks like you're going to have Casey back in at quarterback on this series.
First and 10 for the Blue Devils now from the Pirate 43-yard line. 7:07 left to go in the first half of play. 21-0 is your score in favor of the Blue Devils. Rogers in at quarterback. David Martin, your lone receiver, out to the right. Rogers fakes the snap, looking for running room, and takes it down inside the 35 to about the 34, and close to first down yardage. Going to be a 2nd down and about 2 coming up for the Blue Devils.
I tell you, the running backs are doing a real good job of recognizing the hold and making the proper cuts. But I just, I still have to bring up the offensive line. They're just manhandling that defensive front up there of Coffeeville.
Timeout, Blue Devils. Second and 2, straight up the middle goes Will Taylor, number 15 on the carry. I believe he gained enough to get the first down, taking the ball down to the 32-yard line. First down, Blue Devils. Yes, indeed. If you'll, as you're watching on TV, if you'll watch the young men come out of the huddle and go to the line, Chris McCluskey, number 59, the center. Jared Dickey, number 58. Travis Stokes, number 72, some of those other large young men. They're large, and it's not fat on those young men either. That's muscle.
Oh, absolutely. And although you might not be able to see it, now we've played one quarter and we're still in the second quarter. You might not be able to see that, right now. But where it's going to help you is in the fourth quarter. When that defensive line has continuously all night long getting hit. It takes your toll on you, and your legs tend to go away, and that's when you can really take over the football game with your running game.
2nd down and about 9 now. Rogers rolling to his right, looking for running room on the option keeper. Cuts and is finally tackled down at about the 21, 22-yard line. We commented on this last week, Lane. Lance and I did. Casey reminds me an awful lot of D.E. Herb.
Oh, yeah. You see a lot, especially in the way he makes his cuts when he gets out on the corner. I was thinking this the same thing when I was watching the tape from last week and here tonight. I see a lot of similarities between him and D.E. Hervey.
Official timeout, I think they're going to measure, I believe is what they're up to. Finna bring the chain onto the field and see how close the Blue Devils are to a first down yardage. I believe they're going to go ahead and call this a water break while they're at it.
Right.
And we'll take this break along the line and be right back. For the Blue Devils from the 21-yard line. Rogers back to pass. Has Anthony Gooch open. Complete and scores, but there's a penalty marker on the play, so hold everything.
Well, I don't know what the penalty is, Doug, but what great concentration on Anthony's part. That ball was tipped, and he was still able to make the catch, and that was a great job of concentrating.
The penalty is against Coffeeville. The penalty is declined. Blue Devil touchdown. Casey Rogers to Anthony Gooch for a 21-yard touchdown. Very nice concentration, as you said there, by Anthony, as he was able to keep his concentration on the ball and catch it as he kind of tipped it off of one finger and was able to haul it in for the touchdown.
And you really can't fault the Coffeeville defender. He actually had pretty good coverage on him, and like I said, he was able to get a hand on it. He probably actually thought he broke up the play. But
Michael Fonte on for the extra point attempt, and he is good and converts, and that makes the score the Blue Devils 28, the Pirates nothing, and we'll be back with the kickoff after this break along the line. 5 minutes and 10 seconds left to go here in the first half play. 28-0 your score in favor of the Blue Devils.
Well, I wouldn't, Doug, I wouldn't really rule out, this game being over from Coffeeville's standpoint. But I really think on this particular series, they really need to try to get something positive offensively going. Everything's kind of backfired in their face. Of course, a lot of it has to do with the Devil defense, but they really need to try to get some points right here.
Rucker on the kickoff, and he's pushed out of bounds by number 22, Joseph Hilliard, over there at about the 27-yard line, with the Pirates to take over 1st and 10 with just a little over 5 minutes left to go in the first half. And you're right, Lane. The Pirates are just trying to look for just a little something positive.
Yeah, this game's far from over now. We're still in the first half, and granted they are down 28-0, which is 4 scores, but if they can get a quick score here, I mean, they're right back in it. They can get the momentum back and go in at halftime with a little bit of a positive note.
1st and 10 now for the Pirates. Rucker to the first man through, and the Blue Devils just swarm him before he even takes 2 steps. And he's just nothing there in the middle for the Pirates.
Well, I think if Coffeeville's going to have any success, they're going to definitely have to start putting the ball in the air and maybe trying to go over the top of the Blue Devil defense. But so far, what few passes that they have tried to attempt, Water Valley's been right there. The secondary's had great coverage, been good pressure on the quarterback, which I think is a big key, as far as your pass coverage goes.
2nd down and 8 now. Pass goes complete to number 12, Spearman, up at about the 34-yard line, complete. And he's cut down quickly by the Blue Devil linebackers, Jared Corlew and Turner.
Well, I think if Coffeeville's going to get back in this football game, I think number 12 there for Coffeeville is going to have to, make himself known more. He's going to have to get more touches on the ball, because you can tell he's one of their better players, and he's going to be a real key part in Coffeeville getting back in this football game.
3rd down now, 3rd down at about 5. Quick little screen out of the backfield, and he is cut down before he is able to get very far there, as the Blue Devil, Michael Fonte and friends, cut him down at about the 34-yard line, which will bring up 4th down now and about along 4.
That's a good play there of tackling him when they did, because if he breaks that tackle, he could run for a while, because they had that screen set up pretty good, and real good recognition there by Fonte, and they were able to tackle him. Like I said, if he breaks that tackle, he's got a pretty good gainer ahead of him.
Back in punt formation now. Low snap, skips along, blocked. Anthony Gooch blocks it, and it is recovered by the Coffeeville punter back at the, about the 19-yard line, I believe. 18 or 19, one or the other, or maybe right at the 20. Actually, they're going to spot it on the 20. Nice play there by Anthony Gooch.
Well, the whole thing that led to that particular play, Doug, was, a bad snap. It was a low snap, rolled back there to the punter. He kind of bobbled it a little bit, couldn't get the punt off, and that in turn allowed the rush to get there to him. They would make a block. And here's an opportunity now where Water Valley could very well put this ball game out of reach.
Michael Fonte in at quarterback, hands it off to number 9, Orlando Rucker, and Rucker is met at the line of scrimmage for no gain, maybe even lost a half a yard there, as the Pirate defense closed the middle up. 2:42 left to go in the first half of play. 28-0 your score in favor of the Blue Devils, with the Blue Devils with the ball once again after a block punt deep in Pirate territory, threatening to score again. Second and 10 now. Fonte hands it off to Rucker. Rucker looking for running room over the right side, still on his feet, and takes it down inside the 20 to about the 19, maybe about a yard, maybe 2 on the play. Call it 3rd down and 8.
Well, that's 2 plays right there in a row where Coffeeville's done a real good job of kind of stuffing that run right there. This will be an interesting play call here to see what Coach Drury calls here offensively.
Rogers back in the game at quarterback. Will Taylor at the tailback position. Rogers rolls to his left, looking back, and is hammered as he goes to throw there by number 47 for the Pirates. That was Jard Tenen. And that's going to bring up a 4th down now, 4th down and 8. And Fonte comes back in on this one for a 4th and 8 try.
Well, that's a tough throw to make if you're a right-handed quarterback to roll to your left, because when you roll to your left, you have to kind of stop and set your feet, square your shoulders, and that takes a little time, and that was a good pass rush there by Coffeeville.
Fonte with the quick hitter across the middle to the tight end, Justin Brewer, I believe
you got a personal foul against Coffeeville. That's a late hit on the quarterback.
Penalty flag on the play, and they had Brewer stopped short of the 1st down. It was just a little short drag pass across the middle of the tight end. But as you say, I believe that's going to be a personal foul penalty against the Pirates.
Yeah, I saw it, Doug. It was, wasn't really, I wouldn't call it a cheap shot, but they hit Michael well after that throw and put him on the ground, and that's just not that's a dumb penalty right there, because like you said, Doug, Coffeeville had Water Valley stopped short of the 1st down. They were going to get the football back, but in turn, you got a personal foul. That's 15 yards and an automatic 1st down.
And that's going to put the Blue Devils almost down. And well, it does give them 1st and goal. 1st and goal yardage from the 10-yard line. Very likely, Lane, that probably was a little bit of frustration involved.
Could very well be in. Could very well be in.
1st and goal now from the 10-yard line for the Blue Devils. Casey Rogers back in at QB. Will Taylor at the tailback position. Rogers looking for some running room as he takes the ball and steps back. Was intending to go to his left, and the defensive penetration of the Pirates were able to get there and wrap him up around the ankles for a loss on the play.
I tell you, that it looks like that Coffeeville's defense has kind of tightened up there a little bit. That's about the 4th or 5th consecutive play where their defense has kind of stepped up and stuffed Water Valley.
2nd and goal now from the 12. Fonte to the 1st man through, Turner. Big Greg rumbles it down inside, barely inside the 10. Gains about maybe 2 of the yards back, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 now, and some very interesting calls here for Coach Drury.
Well, I think he's just trying to be sure that we don't take away our opportunity for points. You got 35 seconds to go in the half. He may be just trying to set up the field goal for Ward.
Fonte on the keeper after the fake, and Fonte takes it down inside the 5 to about the 1-yard line, I believe, when he's tackled. It's going to be 4th and goal now from that, and I believe Coach Drury has called a timeout.
Yep.
We'll take a break and be right back. Got 2 options here. You can go for the field goal or you can go for the touchdown. I think it's a no-brainer. You go for the touchdown. Try to put the game out of reach.
Yeah, that's a good point, Doug. Actually, looking where the down box is, it looks like they've got a good 3 yards before they can get in the end zone. But I'm like you, Doug. Here, here's a chance to put your opponent away, and it doesn't matter if it's your cross-county rival or if it's whoever. They're your opponent, and you got an opportunity to put your opponent away. And I don't care who you're playing. When you get that opportunity, you want to take advantage of that.
4th down now, 4th down and a long 3. Ball just inside the 3-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see Water Valley maybe try to draw them off sides and get a little bit more advantage there.
Fonte straight ahead.
They stuffed him.
They stuffed him at the line. He gained maybe a yard down into about the 1, maybe inside the 1, but not enough. He didn't break the goal. Didn't break the plane of the goal line. Coffeeville takes over now, 1st and goal from inside their own 1-yard line with 25 seconds left in the half.
Now, if you're Coffeeville here, all you want to do is just run out the clock. Don't get fancy here. Don't try to pull some miracle off because it could backfire on you, and you're backed up on your own goal line.
Make sure you get the ball out of the end zone.
Absolutely.
You don't want to give the Blue Devil defense a cheap 2 points. First and 10 now for the Pirates from inside their 1-yard line. 28-0 is your score.
Well, that was just a good job there by Coffeeville's defensive front. They just, piled up on that offensive, up on the defensive front and just stuffed all the gaps, and wasn't no running lanes there.
Coffeeville takes the ball and comes straight ahead.
Yeah, they don't even have to snap it again if they don't want to.
And that's probably going to effectively run the clock out, as they were able to advance the ball not very far, just across the line, keep it out of the end zone. And that's going to run the clock out. And that's the end of the first half of play with the score of the Water Valley Blue Devils 28, the Coffeeville Pirates nothing. Coffeeville will receive here to open the second half. And Michael Fonte set to kick it off for the Blue Devils from the Blue Devil 40-yard line. Back deep to receive for the Pirates. Should be Spearman and Rucker, number 12 and number 11 respectively. And we'll see if the Pirates can get anything at all positive moving here in the second half.
Well, once again, Doug, I truly believe that if Coffeeville comes out on this first series of the second half and they go 3 and out, I think they're in trouble. I think it's important that they get some sort of points off this first offensive series.
Ball hit, mishandled. Ball on the ground, and the Blue Devils have it.
And that is the last thing that they needed to happen right there, a fumble on the opening kickoff second half.
Ball on the 21-yard line of the Pirates, and the Blue Devils will take over. 1st and 10. As I believe that was that number 11 or number 12 running up to catch the ball?
I think it was number 11. He just dropped him. He got good hands on it, and he just missed it. And then give Water Valley's coverage team credit because they were right there to pounce.
Number 13, sophomore Casey Rogers in at quarterback. Rogers hands it off to number 9, Orlando Rucker, breaks it out to the left. Rucker, penalty marker. I believe we're going to have a face mask as he's finally downed at about the 5-yard line. Here comes another penalty marker in late against somebody. That may have been an unsportsmanlike call. Let's see what the call is going to be. 2 flags on the field. One came in early.
It could be holding, Doug. I think I may have saw a hold in there on the Blue Devils. I'm not sure. Yep, that's what it is.
Holding against the Blue Devils. That'll negate that fine run there by Rucker.
Yeah, that hurt. That was a great run there by Rucker. Got a little pressure on him in the backfield, but he was able to break through and get some good yardage. I couldn't quite make out the number, but I think we had a receiver downfield that was just trying to block hard for Rucker, and he just had a little bit of a handful of jersey there.
Ward Walker out wide to the right. Rogers takes the snap, looking for Rucker, hands it off to Rucker. Rucker off the right side, looking for running room. Rucker scores! Touchdown, Blue Devils.
I'll tell you one thing that I've seen all night tonight, Doug, and not only has the offensive line done a good job, but, boy, the receivers for Water Valley are doing a superb job of holding their blocks downfield. It's real easy just to run down there and try to take that defensive back. But, they also try to teach you to engage and block him, and they are doing an excellent job of staying with those blocks. And it's just making it that much easier on the Devil running backs. And, this is the worst thing that could have happened to Coffeeville coming out in this second half. This could very well put the game out of reach.
Ward Walker's extra point attempt is good, and that makes the score the Blue Devils 35, the Pirates nothing. Michael Fonte set to kick it off for the Blue Devils. Back deep to receive is, I believe that's number 16. Chris Ott, no, somebody else. That's a little bit smaller than 16. That may just be 6. That may be Exon back there. Spearman catches it on the run, and he is smothered at about the 35-yard line, 34-yard line. And he comes up limping, and that's not good for the Pirates either.
Looks like he may have rolled his ankle, Doug. You know, at the beginning of the game, we mentioned how thick the grass is down on the field. It could very well, he could have hung a spike in there when he was getting tackled and just rolled his ankle the wrong way.
I believe it's going to be a cramp lane from the way he's grabbing his leg.
Could be.
I believe that's what it's going to be. He's rolled the sock down and got a player over there helping him out. Cramp. 1st and 10 for the Pirates from their own 33. Handed off to the first man through. And he takes it up over the 35 to about the 38-yard line. I believe that was number 47 on the carry there, Jard Tenen. Second down now, second down and about 7.
I think that's the first indication that we've seen as far as any reaction from the heat is concerned. I think the players have been able to handle the heat pretty well.
Second down now, second down and 7. Penetration into the backfield, holds up the quarterback, and then a host of Devils pursue him and push him out of bounds at the about the 36-yard line.
It's just that the blocking on that play, Doug, just broke down. I mean,
Rucker had nowhere to go.
Yeah, it was just, he was dead from the start.
That's going to bring up a third down now. Third down at about 7. No gain on the play. 10 minutes and 16 seconds left to go in the third quarter of play. 35-0 is your score in favor of the Blue Devils. Rucker gets it, looking downfield. Passes for number 47. That's Tenen. He was tackled there by number 54. I believe that's going to be Lee Mix. Brings up a fourth down now. Fourth down and about 2 for the Pirates from their own 43. Back in punt formation. Will Taylor back up. Fumble on the play. And believe it or not, Lane, the Pirates may have recovered the fumble and enough yardage on it to get the first down.
Well, it was a fake. It was a fake punt to begin with. Snapped it to the up back. He never caught it. It just come right off of his stomach and rolled forward. And like you said, Doug, he happened to recover it past the first down marker, and it's 1st and 10 for Coffeeville. And you know, that's the first break that's gone their way tonight.
Rucker back in now at quarterback in the shotgun. They get the play in from the sideline. Penalty marker as Rucker trying to get it to Spearman, number 12.
Looks like a false start. I believe that's what I saw a referee indicate.
Rucker's throwing motion shows that he's trying to heave that thing a little side-armed.
I tell you now, if Spearman can ever get behind that DB and you guys can see as well as we can, he's got some pretty good height on him, so he'll have an advantage out there on the corner if you just get some air under the ball.
1st and 15 now after the penalty against the Pirates. Moves them back to about the 42. Another penalty flag on the play. Offside against the Blue Devils.
They get the 5 yards back.
Make it 1st and 10 now from the 47-yard line. 48 make it. Lyman places the ball now. Get their places marked. There goes the whistle. Rucker under center. And the defense jumps again.
Well, that's a smart play by Coffeeville because, you know, Water Valley's front line has been having such a dominant game as far as the defensive line goes. And, you know, they've been going on the same snap count all night. And so Water Valley's been able to anticipate and get that good push. And so, you know, that's a good call there by Coach Lyles and staff, you know, to try to slow that defensive front down, get them back on their heels a little bit, and then, you know, maybe try to get some positive yards.
That was Greg Turner jumping there early. 1st and 5 now for the Pirates from the Blue Devil 47. 3 receivers in the pattern, 1 wing back. Pass, well, that was close to being, that was a forward pass, but it was close to being lateral.
I thought it was a forward pass, Doug. I thought the call should be an incomplete pass myself. That ball looked like it went forward just a little bit. Too bad we don't have instant replay. We could get a real good bird's eye view of it.
2nd down now, 2nd down and about 4.
I believe they ruled that a lateral, though, but I kind of have to disagree with that because, you know, we were pretty well sitting right there on the line of scrimmage, and it just, to me, Doug, it looked like that ball went forward.
Second down now, 2nd down and a long 4. Rucker to the first man through, and he is stuffed. Gains maybe a yard. Call it 3rd down now, 3rd down and a long 3.
And if I'm not mistaken, Doug, I think this is the first time that Coffeeville has been in Water Valley territory tonight.
I believe that is correct. Seven minutes and 4 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter of play. 35-zip, your score in favor of the Blue Devils. Big discussion here now, and
Coffeeville called timeout.
Coffeeville calls a timeout, and we'll take one along with them and be back after this break. .6:55 left to go here in the 3rd quarter of play. Pirates in the midst of a timeout to talk this deal over. They've got a 3rd and a long 3 looking at them in Blue Devil territory for the first time tonight. Barely in Blue Devil territory. That's a 46.
Well, I think, Doug, if you're Coffeeville, you're at the point where if you don't convert here, you definitely go for it on 4th down. I mean, you know, what have you got to lose at this point? You're just trying to get some points on the board.
Blue Devils were able to convert the scoring opportunity afforded them on the Coffeeville miscue on the opening kickoff in the 2nd half when they fumbled, and the Blue Devils were able to pick it up and take it in. 3rd down now, 3rd and a long 3 for the Pirates. Rucker in shotgun formation, rolling to his right. Looking downfield. Had Spearman there, but incomplete over his head.
That ball kind of sailed on Rucker, and I think a lot of that has to do is he kind of threw it off his back foot. Couldn't really get no momentum moving forward, and in turn the ball just sailed on him, and Rucker was there. He just overthrew him.
Brings up a 4th down now. 4th down and about 3. Rucker's throwing motion doesn't look real natural either. It looks like it's kind of a forced throwing motion.
Yeah.
It does not look natural and fluid whatsoever. Spearman on now to punt.
And now that you mentioned that, I look down there and I see one of the coaches working on his leg. I think he may be cramping up a little bit.
Low snap again. Picks it up on the bounce, and the Blue Devils block it again. Blue Devils pick it up and try to run with it, and it finally goes down. I believe a Coffeeville player finally winds up downing it over there at about the 40-yard line. Well, the Blue Devils will take over once again, 1st and 10.
Well, you know, I really can't fault Spearman there. I mean, he's doing the best he can. But, you know, and I don't mean to sound negative, but just the blocking up front on the punting team for Coffeeville is just not there. I mean, every time that ball snapped, there's 5 or 6 white jerseys in the backfield before he even is into his first step to get the punt off. So, I mean, I think Coffeeville's got a little work to do there on special teams because the special teams have sure come home to haunt them tonight.
And got a player down on the field, and Coach Lyle's out there with him, and it looks to be possibly cramps in that particular situation as well. And we'll take a break while they attend to the injured player. And we're back now as they get the injured player off the field. That was Spearman, and he suffering from cramps.
Looks like, Doug, he's cramping up in the hamstring area too, which that's a tough one to work out. Generally, a lot of them take place down in the calves, and you can kind of work them out. But looking at the coach there, he's working on him right here on the sideline right in front of us. Looks like it's kind of up in the hamstring area, and those are tough to get out sometimes.
They go ahead and turn the injury timeout into the water timeout here with 5:51 left to go in the third quarter play, and get everybody water, which is essential on a night like tonight with the heat and humidity the way it is. They got to be sure and get them plenty of fluids, because that's a part of the problem there with the cramps and whatnot is the heat. First and 10 Blue Devils after the block punt at the Pirate 40. Michael Fonte in at quarterback. Hands it off to Rucker. Rucker running to his left. Rucker with a little room. Rucker down the sideline. Rucker going to score. Touchdown, Blue Devils.
I'm not even sure if he was touched, Doug. I mean, that was just a great blocking by Water Valley and the offensive line, and Rucker got on here on the corner. I mean, it was just nobody. Maybe 2 defensive backs, and they were well blocked by the down blockers there, and just
had one guy had a chance at it right down there at about the 2, and just wasn't able to get him.
Wasn't able to do it.
That brings on Ward Walker for his 6th extra point. Well, his 5th, excuse me. I believe Michael Fonte's got one.
Yeah, he and Fonte's been working in and out.
Snap is back, and the kick is up, and the kick is good, and that makes the score 42-0 in favor of the Water Valley Blue Devils. We'll be back with the kickoff after this break. And the Blue Devils have equaled their offensive output of last week.
Well, maybe you got 5 minutes and 41 seconds left in the third, and you just maybe hope that you kind of start working some younger players in. It's great you're having a good positive night, and you got offenses putting some points on the board again, but you just don't want to risk injury to your key players because you got a long season ahead of you.
Ball hits at about the 17. Tennant picks it up there, looking for running room. It is corralled at about the 30 and dropped, and that's where the Pirates will take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. Here with 5:35 left to go in the third quarter of play, 42-0 is your score in favor of the Devils.
Tell you what, we were seeing a few Coffeeville players cramp up, Doug, but it looks like the Water Valley players have withstood the heat pretty good tonight.
Well, I noticed that last week we didn't have a player go down with cramps at all last week. And if anything, I believe tonight the temperature is hotter than it was last week. Flag on the play. Also, I believe a fumble. Penalty is against Coffeeville. See who. Blue Devils recover the football. They decline the penalty, and Blue Devils have the football again at the 35-yard line of the Pirates. And let's see who Coach Drury sends in to quarterback this time. I believe I see Fonte coming in. See some substitutions along the line. Got some of the younger players in there along his line. Fonte hands it off there to number 5. Straight ahead. I believe that was Robert Anderson. Anderson did a good job for the Devils last week and was able to score a touchdown on a tough run. Broke a couple of tackles. Inside the 35-yard line to the 34 where it's second down now. Second down and about 9 yards to go. Greg Turner, your fullback. Anderson at tailback. Straight ahead football as Anderson is held up and then finally wrestled to the ground back at the 50. But his forward progress is stopped at the, they're going to mark the ball. Forward progress stopped back at the line, back at the 40. That'll bring up third down now at about 15. Number 4, David Heder in at the fullback position. They give it to Anderson. Anderson looking for running room, dancing. Gonna get a first down as he struggles down inside the 30 to about the 26-yard line. Nice run there by Anderson as he's close to first down yardage.
I think he's going to come up probably maybe about 4 yards short, Doug. Because remember we had the big loss back there and it knocked us back. Well, it looks like to be about 4th and a long 3.
Fourth and a long 3, and let's see. And we have a
injury
timeout. All right, now we're looking at a 4th down and 3 situation here. Ball resting on the 28-yard line. See what the Blue Devils can come up with here. Fonte still in at quarterback. Robert Anderson at the tailback position. They need about 3. They hand the ball off to Anderson. Anderson bounces it outside. Anderson with some running room. Still on his feet, down inside, close to the 10-yard line. Hard running there by Robert Anderson. Anderson started to turn it up inside lane, then bounced it to the outside, and was able to get the first down yardage.
I've been real impressed tonight with all the Water Valley's running backs. They've made the right cuts. They're doing a good job of recognizing the holes in front of them, and they made the right cuts tonight. And it's paid off for them big.
First and goal now from about the 9-yard line, looks like. Fonte straight ahead to Anderson. Anderson still on his feet. Inside the 5 to about the, looks like the 2. Bring up a second and goal now from about the 2. Flag is down on the play. Face mask against the Pirates. Boy, they didn't need that. See if they're going to mark that. Blue Devils should get either decline it or get a half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, it's first and goal inside the 1.
Inside the 1 is a call. Fonte at quarterback. Hands it off to Anderson, and as it should be, Anderson gets his touchdown as he did much of the work on the drive and gets the 6 points as a result.
I'm a little surprised, Doug, that Coffeeville didn't make an adjustment at halftime defensively to try to help cut out a lot of that outside running. I mean, Water Valley had great success with it in the first half, and that's where they gained most of their yards, and would have assumed that Coffeeville may would have tried to make an adjustment to help support that, but hadn't done that so far. And Water Valley's just, they're not being nothing fancy here. They just handed the ball off tackle up the middle, and it's just basic offensive football.
Ward Walker on for the extra point attempt now out of the hole to Clay Whitehead. High snap. Whitehead gets it down. And the kick is good, and that makes the score the Water Valley Blue Devils 49, the Coffeeville Pirates 0. 2:16 left to go in the third quarter. We'll be back with kickoff after this break. .2:16 left to go in the third quarter. And what has turned out to be a long night for Pirate fans.
Well, we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, Doug, that you know, Coffeeville realizes they're kind of in a rebuilding stage, trying to build their program back up. And one of the downsides of being in a rebuilding process is you have nights like this. You just have to put your young players out there and let them take their lumps.
Oh my goodness! The Blue Devils recovered that thing. That's going to be the same thing as an onside kick, I believe.
Well, you know, by all means, I don't think Michael meant to kick it that way. I just think he kind of kicked up under it.
Yeah, he kicked up under it, and the ball went down the field.
Coffeeville just sat there and looked at it.
And that is exactly what has occurred. Blue Devil football, 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line. Now then you see the third string units begin to come out as David Martin comes in to run the situation here at quarterback. Martin got a couple of snaps in last week against the Winona Tigers. And Martin hands it off straight ahead. I believe he gave the ball that time to number 4, David DeHeader. And David gained a couple of yards, maybe down to about the 33-yard line. Call it 2nd down and 9.
Well, one good thing about it, Doug, and you hate to say it on Coffeeville's behalf too, but this game is out of reach, so now both teams can put young players in there to get some experience. But you look at it from Water Valley standpoint, with the hot night we've had, you're able to keep your regular players off the field.
Pitch goes back to Joseph Hilliard, and Hilliard takes it down inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. Gain of about 4 or 5 on the play. That's going to put up a, let's see, 3rd and, once they move the down marker. Let's see. 3rd and about 4 for the Blue Devils. From the 28-yard line, make it. Martin in at quarterback. Martin pitches back to Hilliard on the outside. Hilliard looking for running room. And Hilliard gets it down to about the 20 where he's got 1st down yardage for the Blue Devils.
Man, this is great that this young bunch, like, you know, for example, David Martin is able to come in and not just get to play, but to experience success. It gets his confidence level up because, you know, these guys are going to have to come 3 or 4 years on down the road. And you know, it's just a real positive experience for these guys.
1st and 10 for the Blue Devils from the 20. Martin on the keeper around the right side. Martin, oh, he scared me the way he had that ball that time. He tucked it back in, but Martin gains down to about the 11-yard line, close to 1st down yardage once again, but he had that ball out exposed there for a moment. And
yeah, he kind of had it exposed, and secondly, Doug, he had it in the wrong hand. He had it in his right hand, running to the left side. You need to get that thing in that left hand and protect it a little bit better.
That's the end of the third quarter of play, Lane. 49-0 is your score. We'll be back with the 4th quarter after this break along the line. $49 for the Blue Devils, 0 for the homestanding Pirates, and the crowd has already started to thin out here a little bit on the home side of the field here on the Pirate side. Blue Devils now facing a 2nd down and about 2 situation here. Coach Drury has substituted freely here toward the end of the third quarter. David Martin is in at quarterback. A bunch of the younger players are in. I think he's got wholesale change on the offensive line, a whole new offensive line in. and youngsters into running back positions. They give the ball to Martin on the keeper. Penalty flag on the play as they got Martin by the face mask as they tackled him down there about the 4-yard line. That's just going to tack on some more.
That'll move it down half the distance to the goal. And Davis looked real good on this particular series, Doug. They're running their option series plays, and he's making the right reads and doing a real good job at running the option, which that's what you love to see in a young quarterback. I think we mentioned this some last year that for a quarterback to learn the reads of the option is really difficult. And the only way you're going to do it is repetition, experience. And to see these young players, or these young quarterbacks, be able to read the option at this young age is, really, really great.
There goes the whistle as they tell this, as they're trying to get the clock operator's attention up here to start that clock. Referee out there winding his arm. There it goes. First and goal now from about the 3, I'm thinking, maybe the 2. Martin at quarterback. Give it to the first man through there, number 34, and he is dropped for loss back at about the 4 or 5-yard line.
He just had you had a breakdown there on the inside. Somebody didn't block their gap, and Coffeeville was able to get penetration in there and stuff that play. And Doug, we've mentioned that not only are these young players getting here and being able to play, it gets your starters off the field, and 1, prevents them from getting hurt. But 2, it's going to keep their legs fresh for next Friday night. They're resting over there right now. They're not out here in this heat, and they're getting a good rest.
Martin once again on the option keeper, leaning forward, trying to get as much yardage as he can before he's finally stopped. He gets back down to about the original line of scrimmage, the 2, where it'll be 3rd and goal from about the, actually it's going to be about the 1.5-yard line, it looks like. Players switch around and bring the play in now for the Blue Devils. Here on the 3rd down and goal for the 2. Clay Whitehead out to the right. To give it to David DeHeader. Off the left side. Touchdown, David DeHeader. And that's got to be a thrill for those youngsters as they're able to score the touchdown.
It's always great when you can put your number 3 quarterback in and your number 3 running backs and man, to drive it down the field and score a touchdown. Don't do nothing but just boast confidence for those guys.
Was an injured Pirate on the field as he was able to get up off the ground, and looks like they're still going to help him off the field
because play was stopped.
He
is going to have to come out whether he got up in time or not. But because the play was stopped for that injury, he has to come out for at least 1 play.
Ward Walker set to attempt another PAT.
Might ought to find a substitute for Ward. His leg's going to be plumb give out.
I believe Ward has kicked every extra point tonight except for 1. Michael Fonte made 1 PAT. Ward gets it up and gets it through, and that takes the score to 56-0 in favor of the Blue Devils, and we'll be back with kickoff after this. Got a couple of Coffeeville players down on the sidelines suffering from the cramp bug as the heat and the humidity has gotten to them this evening. Fonte set to kick it off for the Blue Devils.
Doug, I don't know if we can get a shot of this Coffeeville player right down here on the sideline. You just get an example or a good idea of just how hot it is. That's his undershirt that he wears under his pants, and it is just completely drenched. It's been extremely hot down there on the field.
All right, now I think we've got everybody ready. They're taking a chance here. And Fonte gets a foot in it. Catches it on the run at about the 20, looking for some running room, and Clay Whitehead's there to wrap him up at about the 22. Make that the 27, 28-yard line, where the Pirates will take over 1st and 10.
Well, you know, if you're Coffeeville, you realize that the game's out of hand. That barring some unbelievable miracle, you're not going to win this game, and you really got your job cut out for you as far as coaches go, because you got to keep those players' spirits up. You got to get them to still go out there, play hard, hustle every play to the last horn, and just try to treat this as a if anything a scrimmage, and just try to find something positive to come back Monday and practice and build on.
Rucker out of the game. They've gone to another quarterback. I believe they've gone to number 2, which is Kedrick Logan. According to this, an 8th grader.
That's pretty impressive there. Well, what Coach Lyles is doing here is they're giving their future quarterback a chance to go ahead and put him in there and put him in the fire. It's, at this stage of the game, I really can't say I blame him, because, this is the guy that's going to have to lead your offense in the future. So just go ahead and let him get his feet wet.
2nd and 2. And Logan runs straight ahead, trying to gain 1st down yardage. He's going to be close. Don't know if he's going to be quite have enough. Depends on the markings of the ball. And it's going to be enough for the 1st down as they move the chains. 1st and 10 for the Pirates from their own 37-yard line, 38-yard line, make it. As the referee says, wind the clock. Logan takes a snap, hands it off, and he is held up by David Martin and then hammered out of bounds as his support got there over along the original line of scrimmage. Maybe even lost one on the play. As a matter of fact, he did. Call it 2nd down and 11. Eight minutes and 47 seconds left in this contest. 56-0 is your score in favor of the Blue Devils. Logan takes the snap, hands it off, and he is wrapped up in the backfield there by number 4, David DeHeader.
Boy, really been impressed at how the younger players have been able to come in and they play each one of them are playing their position well. They're not getting called out of position on certain plays. Ball comes there, ball comes this way. You've got the contain man there and the pursuit's there. Just, really good, solid defense being played by these younger players.
3rd down now, 3rd down and about 14. Logan rolling to his right, looking for running room. Gets it up to about the 40, where he is dropped by the Blue Devil defense. David Martin and Ward Walker combining, I believe, on that one. 4th down now, 4th down and about 8. And let's see what Coach Lyles decides to do here. I believe he may have been sending in a different quarterback.
I think he's going to try to punt it.
Well, he's got a man dropping back in punt formation. Fakes the punt, and that doesn't work.
I
As
think
the Blue Devils read that one.
Yeah, I think that the Water Valley coaches kind of sniffed that one out. Matter of fact, the number 2 there for Water Valley, the guy that went back to cover the punt, Coach Drury even just told him to just come on up here and play in here. I think something Coffeeville just gave that play away, I believe.
Brings up a first down and 10 now for the Blue Devils inside Pirate territory at the Pirate 43-yard line. 6:48 and counting left in the contest. David Martin and crew back in the game. And there's a timeout. Timeout, Blue Devils, I believe, is the
I just think didn't quite have enough people on the field.
All right, and we're back now as the coaches make their way off the field after having conferred with the players here. I believe the Blue Devils just got caught a little short-handed, as it was a situation there on that particular case. Coach Gary Drury out to talk with his troops. Brings up first down now. First down and 10 for the Blue Devils from the Pirate 43-yard line. Ward Walker split out wide to the right. Martin takes a snap, hands off to the first man through. I believe it was the header.
Yeah, I think somehow or another he and David or some feet got tangled up back there in the backfield, and I think that's the reason why that play kind of sputtered a little bit.
Gained a couple of yards on the play, maybe one. Call it 2nd and 9.
Charles Reed, congratulations. You are the lucky winner of tonight's 19-inch color TV giveaway.
2nd and 9 for the Blue Devils. Hand it off to the header again.
The extra points, short and 3rd down Blue Devils.
Gets it back to the line of scrimmage, brings up 3rd down now, 3rd down and 9.
I believe they're going to take the water break here, Doug.
Third down and 9 for the Blue Devils from the 43-yard line of the Pirates. Martin on the keeper, naked bootleg rolling around to the right. And he is dropped at the 37-yard line. Short of first down yardage, that's going to bring up a 4th down. As the idea was sound, but the Martin was caught up by some of the defenders.
I think what you just saw was maybe a youthful mistake. He tried to cut back against that and try to dodge that tackler. And, you know, in turn, he probably just should have kept going. Probably wasn't going to get the first down, but should have just kept running and gained what you can gain and hopefully come up with a 4th and short. But that just comes by experience. He's just got to learn that and play some more.
4th and 5. Straight ahead to Joseph Hilliard. Hilliard looking for some running room. Hilliard's got first down yardage, I think, down to about the 28-yard line. And that should be enough for a first down. And it is. And the Blue Devil 3rd stringers are on the move again. And believe it or not, what you've got in here, it may be 3rd stringers on offense, but you've got some tough nuts out there. Jared Corlew's out there on the offensive line. He's a defensive linebacker. Martin on the option, puts his head down, takes it down to about the 22.
Tell you what, the old boy's hanging tough, but now I give Coffeeville credit. They popping him pretty hard. They working him over. He's getting some great gains, but he's having to work for him. He may be a little sore coming tomorrow morning.
2nd down now. 2nd down and about 6 from about the 22. Martin running around to the left this time. Probably should have looked to pitch it. He had a pitch man out to his left in Hilliard, who had an open lane to run with on the outside. But instead he tucked it away and gained a couple of more yards and comes up with a 3rd and short now, 3rd and about 2.
Well, one thing they teach you, though, is that if you got any doubts about pitching it, if you don't feel comfortable pitching, don't pitch it, because if you don't feel comfortable pitching, your chances are you're going to make a bad pitch, and then that'll lead to a turnover.
Looking to pitch again, and a stop, drop for a loss back at about the 20-yard line, which will bring up a 4th down now. Now here's an interesting situation, Lane, where you really don't want to try to put other points on the board, but this might be an opportunity to try a long field goal. But
yeah, give Ward the feeling of attempting a field goal.
But looks as though he's going to go on it for a 4th and short. Pitches it back, and Hilliard drops on it, and that's where the Pirates will take it over at the Pirate 28-yard line. And they had the idea. Hilliard was there for the pitch and was probably going to be able to pick up some yardage around the corner. They were able to put the pitch on the ground, and Hilliard wasn't able to come up with it.
Yeah, and then there again, that's you have to just practice that play to get that pitch down. It's repetition, repetition, repetition. And that'll come in practice. That'll come in games, and this, you just got to get out there and practice. It's just a tough play to do. It's hard for a young quarterback to make himself pitch that ball out there because he's so worried he's going to make a bad pitch.
Logan grabbed from behind there by number 50. That's Big Travis White. Big Travis grabbed him by the scruff of the neck and whirled him around. Gained maybe a couple of yards on the play. Call it 2nd down and 8 for the Pirates. Coming up on 2 minutes to play in the contest. Logan takes the snap, hands it off to the first man through there. That's number 5, Lamont Kimball. Penalty marker on the play. Coming in late from behind. That may be, not sure what that could be.
I didn't even see it.
He threw it in from behind the Blue Devil huddle. Personal foul against the Pirates is a call. And they mark off the 15 against the Pirates.
I think they called it on number 44, but there again, Doug, it happened over there on the other side of the field, and it's just hard for us to tell.
That brings up a 3rd down and about 20 after the penalty is assessed. There goes the whistle. And we're coming up on under a minute and a half to go. Logan hands off, and he hands it off to Kimball again, who has nowhere to go. Tackled at about the 16-yard line, where it'll bring up 4th down now. 4th down and about 22. And with about a minute left to go in the contest, I really don't believe the Pirates will snap this thing. Probably just trying to run the clock out. They may be forced to, unless they just take the delay of game penalty, which looks like possibly they're going to do. I believe that is going to be what they're going to do. Take the delay of game penalty as they stop the clock for and assess the delay of game penalty against the Pirates with 35.5 seconds left to go. They'll move the Pirates back 5 yards, and it'll make it 4th down and 26.
I really don't understand that because you just backed yourself up 5 more yards. It's still 4th down, and you're still going to have to snap it one more time.
And if you have a bad snap, you're that much closer to the end zone.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, I don't guess it really makes that big a difference at this point in this stage in the game.
As they send their number 1 quarterback back in there, Rucker, to handle the punting duties, it looks like. As he's going to punt from about his own end zone, about his own goal line. Low snap, he gets it off.
Boomed it.
Anthony Gooch wisely just lets it hit and roll, and it's down to about the 42-yard line with about 25 seconds left to go in the contest. And the ball at the 42-yard line, and the Blue Devils with a 1st and 10. Very likely what you will see here is a snap and a knee taken by the Blue Devils to run the clock out and end this contest. I will be very surprised if we see something other than that.
Tell you what, boy, that's a lot of new faces in that lineup right now. A lot of folks that I think there may even be some freshmen in there.
I believe you dressed the freshman out tonight. And that is what they do. They take the snap and take a knee, and that's going to take the clock down.
Yeah, they don't even have to snap it again.
Yeah, it's going to run out, and that's going to be the end of this thing, which couldn't be none too soon for the Coffeeville fans, because it's been a long night for the Pirates fans. Now they're going to, looks like they may, no, they're not going to have to snap it. And that's it, folks. That's the end of the ball game. 56-0, the Blue Devils slaughter the Pirates.